Another very close division is the National League East, where the Mets are doing very well so far. The pitching experiment has worked, and Juan Soto in May has been the Juan Soto everyone was waiting for. So the Mets team in the major leagues, and the same question, is it sustainable? Can the Phillies catch up? Or will Atlanta with the addition of the brother of the one in the picture?
Well, it's it's a tough division. Philadelphia has tightened up, but they're still going. However, they keep going. They are the team with the best record against teams above 500. I mean, when you have the best record against those kinds of teams, you are in the numbers to qualify. It's simply about whether you can compete for less. This weekend they played three against the Cubs, won two, lost one. That's it. Those are the numbers you need. And the pitching. First day, Craig Holmes. Second day. They gave up 3, 4 runs. McGill pitched the second day. And yesterday, Griffin Canning, who's a Hall of Fame candidate, incredibly, just 1 run in. So when you have a team like that, pitching the way they are and playing against teams that were above A0, and you're the one with the average record, you're going to be in the numbers. Well,
Yes, definitely Juan Carlos doesn't like the matter.
No, 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 no. It's a division that's going to be competitive. With the Phillies, it's not like I mean, the Mets aren't running away, even though they have the same record. And Atlanta right now, with Strider's return, will improve even more. And well, if the trade of Marcell Ozuna for Davey happens, then
It was tremendous. We didn't talk about it. It scared me. I thought a foul ball was coming this way.
well, but
That's a good question Luis just asked. So who is the real leader of the Mets?
not the captain. Not the captain. The captain is Francisco Lindor, the one who has it there. He's interested in being the leader. Juan Soto was brought in to hit when needed. That's that. That's that. There's no doubt the captain is Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, that's pretty clear.
no, there's no doubt that the soul of that team is Francisco Lindor.
He's like the compass. Being the leadoff hitter also gives him a strong presence on the team.
Yes, yes, the thing is I don't. Now, do you think Soto cares about that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Right now, it's his first year. No, maybe not.
The ego. The ego is important.
Well, but right now,
But I think he already knew coming to the Mets this was going to be the situation.
yes, but in the end, you have your contract secured. There's no problem there.
Exactly. Frankie Montas is nearing his debut. He's going to strengthen the Mets pitching.
Ah, yes, Mets, Juan Carlos, Frankie Montas. Remember that name.
Another one who later on
Becomes one of those Yankees pitchers, Roger Clemens, Frank Johnson.
No, but he becomes that. No, none that.
none that you named as Yankees.
Yes. And then later, they become the pitchers they are and say, I didn't know. But look,
He'll bolster.
he's going to strengthen the pitching. And there it is. You could say that Griffin, Canning, Kodai Senga, and Clay Holmes are the ones with the best effectiveness in the National League. Could you have predicted it at the start of the season? Not a chance. And there it is. They are who they are.
Tremendous.
Good experiment.
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you something. If the Mets championship hopes are going to depend on Frankie Montas,
We'll have to we'll have to wait.
we'll have to wait. We'll have to see as the season progresses.
Well, same thing.
But well, let's start reading the comments. Comments rather. Radam Acosta. Judy is not first. Well, but it's his turn. Raul Gonzalez said he wasn't a DJ and that he's no longer a DH and no longer plays third base. He said, I'm not first. We'll see him on the bag. Careful.
Look, I'm not saying he can't play first, but you have to get him to practice first.
No, but you can't just put him.
What they're doing with Rafael is disrespectful. Here's the glove, get in.
If he doesn't want to practice, then no.
That's what we don't know.
I do know if he said it publicly. Don Figueiredo says, "Good afternoon. What they're doing with Rafael is a lack of respect. I don't agree."
They're not paying either.
Tony tells us the last day he speaks, no, because he says he's going to change it. You have to take when the day comes. You say, well, they changed it, but for now I can't tell you that they're going to change it. We don't know, but it's a possibility. Orlando Gonzalez, this friend, Juan Carlos, says Francon is one of the few old-school managers left in the major leagues. Will the tires arrive? Is that a question or a statement? It was stuck there.
There's a donut there.
Greetings. And Honey, you have to be optimistic about the reappearance of Acuna Jr.
Appearance.
It won't be immediate. It'll be gradual. What will be is his presence in the dugout, inspiration for the big players.
Correct, but no, if it's going to be, if he's ready, if he's ready, yes. Let it not be what Juan Carlos said at the beginning, that he won't steal bases at first, that's fine, or that he plays as a designated hitter one day. It's different.
Orlandito Gonzalez says, "You'll remember me when Stanton arrives. The one who's going to be out affected is Wells." What do you say, Juan Carlo?
But Stanton...
Isn't what I was telling you about. You're going to have to make room for Ben Rice because Wells is batting 90, and Ben Rice is going to have to catch. That's what I was saying.
It's a headache, and there you lose on defense.
It's expensive, yes, but Ben Rice.
Ben Rice is going to be the starting catcher.
No, but still, I mean, the one who's hitting, plays, what are you going to do with him? You're going to take him out because he doesn't hit against. It's tough.
Orlando Gonzalez says, "I noticed that the teams in the American League Central lost their series. So, is it the weakest division in the American League?"
Not for me. For me.
The only obstacle to the Triple Crown in the National League
is Aaron Judge, so in the American League...
Right now, there are 4 teams. The only team that isn't. Well, before the weekend series started, the only team that wasn't above 600 was before the weekend series.
And it won't be.
And won't be either. Orlando Gonzalez says the only obstacle for me, for the Triple Crown in the National League, is Arraez, so it's in the hands.
I mean, he says the only one who could take that away is Arraez, but since he's not in the National League still.
He's ahead by 100 points.
1 on 10, just in case.
Orlando Gonzalez. And what about Stroman?
Stroman, no.
Still on the injured list. And as long as he stays there, it benefits him because of the contract.
It benefits the Yankees.
Well, that gets paid next year.
Igor Morales says, "And you know what's best for the bad employee? That they still have to pay him his money if he doesn't perform, of course. We're clear that Walter won't give it to him." No, they still have to pay.
It's the only thing. Saving Rafael Defi today. Otherwise, they would have already sent him home. What to do with that contract?
That's right. Let's see what other comment we have. Brother Node will disprove what Gosmich did. He's hitting better than he was at this point now.
It's disrespectful to compare Goldsmith
with Soto, but he's doing well. You have to compare him to what he did last year.
Igor Morales. I mean, Emma has created the best employee when they demote him, and the month they demote him again. But who below have I put anyone? How many teams are there in the major leagues?
I don't know, really.
He's talking about duty, of course, but there are only 30 first basemen. They're demoting you. Orlando Gonzalez. Dominguez better step up because there's a Spencer below who's killing it in the minors, and it's about time to bring him up.
No, they're not going to give him a year.
1 more year.
Johnny says the Mets are going for Luis Roberts. Who's out? Homework for home?
I don't think they're going for him. And especially since last week Juan Carlos rattled Brett Beatty. And over the weekend he hit 3 home runs. Well, yes, he hit 3 home runs over the weekend.
Johnny Atella says. The Mets proved last year to be a scrappy team without Soto. Now with the plantain power, that team leads the National League East. And who's the captain of the team? He's the leader of the Mets.
Lindor.
Yes. Anderson Black, greetings to the best Yankees afternoons champ. Oh, Anderson, I didn't know that.
Yes, that's something to note.
Guys, well, it's already clear to me how wrong Duty was. He shouldn't have spoken to the press. And if he considers himself a leader, he shouldn't have said anything. Hold your pearl.
That's the only thing I criticized Evers for. I criticized Duty for coming out to declare all this that Christopher did Jimenez.
Christopher Jimenez? Ah, what's there is a lack of communication. If you tell me I'm going to first base after you told me to put away the glove, then no, even less. It's not the same to play first after third. That can't put away the glove. Victor says, Ender, how many autographs has Juan Carlos signed? Me, and this is true what I'm going to say. When I arrived and saw how easily Juan Carlos handled himself at Duncan Park, I said, I'm not needed here.
So if you don't see me in this situation anymore, it's because Juan Carlos has it under control.
Now, but Juan Carlos seems like an Astros fan, right?
Of course, everyone calls him Mr. Juan Carlos. This, that.
But they haven't seen the shirt he was wearing, the Diamondback sweater.
Well, we're saying goodbye to Duncan Park. We're not going to work to do some notes. We're still here. Juan Carlos and I, greetings to everyone who was connected. Thank you very much. And we'll see you on Wednesday at the same time on Diamante 23 and Sport.
Best regards and have a good afternoon.